Hi, good day. I'm Razzle Capoyan Prieto from BS Ed Social Studies 1C Day. So in my argumentative essay about international trade, this is it. International trade commerce among nations. Trade involves the transfer of goods and services from one person or entity to another, often in exchange for money. According to Wikipedia, the international trade is the exchange of capital, goods, and services across international borders. When nations trade with other countries, nearly always everyone benefits. People who feel their businesses are negatively impacted by foreign competition have long been against international commerce. The economic basis for free trade was soon established by economists like Adam Smith and David Ricardo. Now, why do we trade with other countries? Simple. We trade with other countries because some of our materials or sources, especially here in the Philippines, are lacking or insufficient to sustain the needs for everybody. So we need to trade with our other countries to improve our economy. And one of the most important concepts in economics of David Ricardo have observed is that relative rather than absolute costs were what drove commerce in one of the most crucial economic theories of producing a good. So according also to Hosbeg, since no country can produce or manufacture all the things that it needs, so it has to trade with other countries. Benefit from trade? How? Yes, of course, we benefit from trade because it raises the living standards of both countries. In 1776, Adam Smith stated that if a foreign country can supply us with a commodity cheaper than when ourselves can make it, so in this sentence of Smith, it shows basic principle on which the world trade is based. So I agree also to this claim that some countries buy and sell goods to other countries to the best possible cost effectiveness. So, do we trade with other? How? Yes, and by enhancing all overall investment and facilitating innovation, trade can bring sustained higher growth. Douglas Irwin 2009 calls comparative advantage by Ricardo David are good news for economic development of a country. He said that even if a developing country lacks an absolute advantage in any field, it will always have a comparative advantage in the production of some goods and and will trade profitably with advanced economies. Why do some people dislike protests against international trade? How do they perceive that we or that people in developing countries will be hurt by trade? So, for me, every nation has a different economic potentials because they are all diverse. Naturally, some nations are larger, have a higher population, and have more natural resources than others. Like in China, this country has a higher population and have more natural resources, putting China in third in total reserves in the world. According to the International Monetary Fund, IMF, trade contributes to global efficiency when country opens to trade, capital and labor shift toward industries in which they are used more efficiently. But however, trade also brings disturbance to those firms and industries that cannot cut it. So that's why some people dislike or protest against international trade. So in conclusion, derives from previous points, is that trade is inevitable and necessary mean in the contemporary world. So therefore, an economy changes when we trade with others, like when the increase in the exports is proportionately more than that of imports. According to Asian Development Outlook 2022 update, the growth prediction for 2023 is kept at 6.3% as monetary policy tightening accelerating inflation both crimp domestic demand. This will help to underpin the growth of the Philippines domestic consumer market, capitalizing foreign and domestic investment into many sectors of the Philippine industry. So that's all for my international argumentative essay about international trade. Thank you for listening. These are my references as well as these. So thank you. Have a great day ahead.